2017 Jaguars. It's taken more than 20 years, but Jaguar has finally done it. Sexy and sporty, agile and accomplished, the 2017 Jaguars is everything a modern Jaguar sedan should be. And yes, it's absolutely good enough to beat what has been, until now, the definitive car in the class, BMW's iconic 3 Series. Our own Jonny Lieberman and Scott Evans both enjoyed wheel time in the news in Europe and came back impressed. The blues from that comparison is pictured in this review. So when I was offered a drive events on a recent trip to Britain, I jumped at the chance. Though 2015 is shaping up to be another great year for great cars, this has been on my list of must-drives since I had a sneak peek at a clay model last year. I had to know Jaguar had finally banished the bogeyman of the X-Type. Flashback to 1993, newly minted Jaguar boss Nick Scheele is hosting a media dinner in New Hall Manor, an imposing pile that dates back to the 13th century in parts and still has its own moat. Late in the evening, after several glasses of a very good burgundy, Scheele casually asks the table, "Could Jaguar ever do a front-drive car?" That's the moment I knew the Jaguar X-Type was coming. I own an X-Type, a 2002 3.0-liter AWD Sport. My late father-in-law's car. It's kept in London to use as a daily driver whenever I'm back there. It's dark blue, with a grey interior and horrible yellowish-greenish-brownish walnut, of course, on the dash. It's scuffed and dinged and worn and perfect for parking on London's mean streets. But it starts first time, every time, quietly cruises the motorway at 90 miles per hour, and steers and grips and rides surprisingly well. It's the best Ford Mondeo ever built. This, by contrast, is the compact sports sedan Jaguar was born to build. The engine's in the right place, pointing in the right direction, and driving the right set of wheels. Important automotive semantics, these, for they underpin the heart and soul of this, the very Jaguarness that was missing from the stolidly engineered X-Type. Ironically, this North American launch is being delayed until 2016 because that's when all-wheel drive will be available as an option on the car. Jaguar has learned the hard way it's tough to sell luxury cars in snowbelt states without it. This has the long hood and athletic stance a Jaguar demands, with the sheet metal tautly teased out over the extremities in Jaguar design chief Ian Callum's trademark style. By the way, Callum dismisses suggestions this is Greenhouse apes BMW's famed Hofmeister kink at the C-pillar, saying it's an evolution of the hinge glass pane that was a feature of 1960s Jaguar Mark II rear doors. Inside, this is clean and contemporary, with a hint of current XJ in the way the front door surfaces are carried around under the base of the windshield. There's not a whiff of the tired old wood and leather gentleman's club on wheels meme the X-Type so artlessly contrived. After Jonny's initial review of this, there were a number of negative comments about the interior: boring, plain, dull, nothing to get excited about. Let's just say photos don't do it justice. From behind the wheel it's a classy, sophisticated piece of design. One personal gripe: piano black plastic on the center console. I'm not a fan of piano black finish even in Rolls-Royces and Bentleys, where it's the real deal. It always looks like plastic, and when it surrounds switchgear, as in this, it's soon smothered in fingerprints. The ZS is powered by the supercharged, 3.0-liter V6 that already does sterling service in a number of Jaguar Land Rover vehicles. The V6's 340 horsepower bests the outputs of the turbocharged 6-cylinder engines in the BMW 335i and the Mercedes-Benz C400, 300 horsepower and 329 horsepower, respectively, but the Benz engine has more torque, 354 pounds-to-foot versus 332 pounds-to-foot. Jaguar claims the 3,700 pounds S will accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a tick under 5.0 seconds, and on Britain's winding B roads it feels every bit that fast. The BMW's turbocharged straight-six might have the edge in terms of refinement, but the supercharged Jaguar engine feels slightly more responsive, and works beautifully with the nicely calibrated 8-speed automatic transmission. It's the chassis, though, that really shines. The ride is firm and body movements well damped, but there's never any impact harshness or jittery nervousness on Acton roads. The steering is precise, linear, and beautifully weighted, with none of the faintly gluey feel that's now sadly commonplace in the 3 Series. The front end responds crisply to steering inputs, and grips authoritatively, while the rear tracks predictably regardless of mid-corner lumps and bumps. Cornering attitude can be moderated by your right foot with remarkable precision, lift off mid-turn, and the nose of the car will tuck closer to the apex of the turn. Squeeze on the gas and you'll feel the tail start to move out. The transitions are smooth and predictable. Many have tried, over the years, to build a better 3 Series. And after years of false starts and wrong turns, the guys from Jaguar have finally done it best. True, this range doesn't yet have the extraordinary bandwidth of the 3 Series lineup. BMW still offers more engine and transmission combos and more body styles, but this Jaguar has great bones. The X-Type bogeyman is banished forever.